What's up, guys? It's Spike here with Juggalo a Day. I know my face paint's a little bit fucked up, but I've been wearing it all fucking day, so fuck you if you don't like it. But I think besides that, it's pretty fucking sexy, right? I mean, am I right? It's pretty fucking sexy, huh? Well, alright, so my topic that I did, which is amazing, because it's like the best topic ever, is why are you a Juggalo? And I have a little bit of a story that I want to include with mine, and that is many of you know that I went to boarding school my freshman year of high school. Now, before I went to the boarding school, I ended up going on a visit because I wanted to see what the boarding school was like. I figured it was a good idea to visit and see if it was the right place for me. You know, it didn't cost a lot to visit, and I just, I wanted to see if I liked it. Well, when I was there, I met this dude, and I saw him wearing this necklace, and it was the Hatchet Man. And I looked at him, and I'm like, I'd seen that necklace before, but I didn't know what it was from. I think it was because I played the backyard wrestling game. I hated it, but I played it like I like it now. But I played the backyard wrestling game, and I'd seen that symbol on Violent J's shirt on the cover of the game, and so I recognized it. I'm like, dude, what was that symbol? And he's like, oh, I'm a juggalo. And I'm like, what's that? And it's like, and he's like, oh, ICP. And at the time, I'm like, you know what, man? And I'd heard a couple of their songs before, but I never got into it. I'm like, you know what? I want to like them, but you know, I just can't. I don't really like their style. And he's like, oh man, that's cool. You know, if it's not what you're into, it's fine. But I'm like, well, I'm really into like the whole culture of it. Like from what I've seen, it seems really interesting. I just had like sort of like I was sort of drawn to it, and I asked him, could you tell me a little bit about them? He mentioned the Dark Carnival to me. I'm like, what is this? And he's like, oh, I'll tell you later. And I didn't understand why he wanted to tell me later, but he's just like, I'll tell you later, because I guess he thought it wasn't a good time, whatever we were doing. He actually pulled that shit, that I'll tell you later shit, or let's not talk about that here shit on me quite a few times. I guess it's just sort of his thing. Um, and then basically what it was, yeah, he showed me. But then he said, my favorite people, and I started hanging with him because I knew his other friend I was also hanging with, so I ended up hanging with him some more, at least over my visit. And so I was hanging with him in my visit and everything. And what happened was he told me, my favorite people, it's not just ICP. And my favorite people on there is not ICP, it's Twisted. And he played me one of their songs. I don't remember which one it was. But I'm just like, oh shit, this is fresh. And so I heard it and I'm just like, damn, I like this. Um, and so I was listening to it. I'm just like, oh shit, man, this is dope. And then he played another song for them, and I think at the time I wasn't that into it, but I liked the one song he played. And so I'm just like, all right, I'll check more into this. When I got home, one of the songs I looked up was I looked up Twisted. First thing that came up, We Don't Die. I sat there and I watched the music video. That was the start of me being a juggalo. Now, I'm a senior in high school now, so I've had some time. I started being a juggalo in 8th grade, so I've been down for like 4 years. And the guy turns out the guy's actually well, I'm not going to say too much bad about him, but he ended up I don't even know if he's down anymore. He never reps, but and when I've talked to him, he kind of ignores me, so it's whatever. But it's just interesting how I got into that whole thing, and then I guess from there, it just grew. I think some of the first songs I got into were off of Malenko. Down with the Clown, Halls of Illusions was one of my first songs that I heard and my favorite. Fuck the World. When I first heard it, I didn't like it, but then later, I liked it more. And so I just started listening to more and more ICP. Most of the songs being off Malenko, but yeah, I just started hearing more and more of that shit. One of the earlier songs I heard by them was "Please Don't Hate Me," which I thought was funny as fuck. Um, and a bunch of songs. And so when I learned about the Juggalo philosophy and the family, that's what I really became down with. I really liked the idea of a family of outcasts. Because I'd always been outcasted, and I loved the idea that family sticks up for each other. There's a family of outcasts, and we look out for each other, and I fucking love that shit. And it's like fuck racism, fuck all that fucking shit. Just hearing that was like music to my fucking ears. Hearing some of that shit, it was just like there was just something about it. It was just unbelievable to me that there were people speaking about this. There were people who based their whole career around this, around be yourself, around whoever the fuck you are. It doesn't matter. We accept you. I fucking love that. And so I think it just makes sense that I become a juggalo. And now look at me. 4 years down, painted up, shit. I could have never known it would have that much of an impact on my life, I never thought, but yet it did. It did have that much of an impact on my life. I'm glad to say that it did. Now, it doesn't define me. I'm Spike. Above all else, I'm Spike. But that's why I became down. The family, the tolerance, the acceptance, the love, that's why I'm still down. So that's my thoughts. Spike here. Peace the fuck out. Whoop whoop. And much clown love, fam.